Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be She's a great girl, but doesn't knock my socks off. Should I stay or go? This particular email, this guy says he's been dating a woman for about 7 months. He says she's a really great girl, treats him awesome, she really likes him. He's pretty sure she wants to be exclusive, but hasn't brought it up yet. However, he's like, she doesn't really knock my socks off. And he wonders if he should stay or he should go. He says he's dated women who are much prettier, much hotter in the past, but he didn't stay with them because it came with too much baggage. But with this particular girl, she's a great woman, but he's not as attracted to her as he was these other women. And so he's kind of wondering, what should I do? So he says, hey, coach, so I'm in a pickle here, and I could really use some advice. I've read your book 4 times, and I'm learning a lot. So I've been seeing this girl for 7 months now, and things are going pretty well with her. She's very loving towards me and always excited to see me and always ready for a round of the indoor Olympics. My problem is, and has been, that I just don't feel I'm that into her as she is into me. Well, you can't make your heart feel something it doesn't feel. Your feelings tend to be your truth. So the question really is she easygoing? Is she easy to get along with? Is she loyal? Is she a good family-oriented girl, especially if you're looking to have kids? Is this somebody that you would want to have children with? Those are the kinds of questions you need to ask. And because if you aren't that into her and you're certain you don't want to have children or a family with her, and you know she kind of wants to be serious with you, then the honorable thing to do as a man is to leave the relationship so they can go find somebody, or she can go find somebody that really feels the same way about her that she does about him. Because the worst thing you can do as a guy is stay with a girl you're not that into and burn up a lot of her good years where she could be with somebody that really loved her and wanted to be with her and have a family with her. So, a lot of guys get in situations like this and they just settle and they stay with the girl. And then they're never really happy. And then they just start to let themselves go and gain weight and they just settle. And it's just not a nice thing to do to another person if you know you're not into them. I mean, I wrote about that in 3% Man. I had the same issue when I was younger. It didn't feel right, but I was afraid to lose her. I was afraid to be single again. I was afraid I wouldn't meet anybody that was as good to me as she was. She was a great girlfriend, great wife, but something was missing. It was always missing. It just never felt right. And everybody around me told me that I just had cold feet and that would pass. And because I was young and I didn't have enough life experience and I didn't have anybody around me that I could really talk to about it that could give me some good sound advice, I listened to the people that were around me and basically did what they did, which was get into a marriage that my heart wasn't into. And after a year, I realized that I just couldn't do it. I couldn't stay. It wasn't the right thing. It didn't feel right. And I had to honor my truth because I realized that I didn't have cold feet. I felt the same way the whole time we were together, and she and I even talked about that. And so after all that expensive wedding and your family and your friends involved, and then a year later you're getting divorced, and everybody wants to know, what happened? You guys are so great together. So learn from my mistakes. You can't make your heart feel something it doesn't feel. And if you're not that into her, I mean, you look at it from the perspective of you had other women you dated you were really way more attracted to and into and maybe had a more passionate sex life with, but they had baggage and shortcomings that just made being with them too difficult and the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. And so the reality is you just got to keep seeking and searching until you find somebody whose goals and values are aligned with your own. Because the longer you stay with somebody like this that you're not really into, you're wasting her time and you're wasting your own. The only way you can really meet somebody that's the right person for you is to create a space in your life. And right now that space is filled by somebody that you're not that into. He says, but I'm just not crazy about her like I want to be, and truth be told, I'm not that attracted to her. I really want to like her because, the truth be told, this is the healthiest relationship I've ever had, and it's really nice for once. Well, I say it all the time, easygoing, easy to get along with, she's got to be nice to you, communicate like an adult. So you got all those things, but you're missing the physical and spiritual and mental attraction that needs to be there. Because again, you can't make your heart feel something it doesn't feel. And I remember what it's like to be with somebody like that. You feel guilty. Because they're so good to you. You think, what? Got to be something wrong with me. Why don't I feel the same way about them that they do me? And in reality, it's just what it really means on a deeper level is your goals and values are just simply not totally aligned. And so the honorable thing to do, like I said earlier, is to let her go so she can find a guy that does get lit up on the inside by her. Obviously, you're not feeling that. And the longer you stay with her, the longer you're going to delay you meeting somebody that does knock your socks off. So I've just found it's better to rip it. When you know this, when you feel what you feel, I mean, it's hard because you're like, man, everything else is so great. But if you don't see her as the mother of your children, and you're not excited about that, then you need to let her go and go find somebody that does light you up on the inside and somebody you would love to have children and a family with. I've had better looking exes in the past, but they all came with baggage, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about my last ex all the time, and that ended a year ago. We are not exclusive yet, but I can tell she wants to be, even though she hasn't brought it up yet. I'm very unsure of what to do, and I don't want to hurt her. Well, that's the thing. If you break up with her, you're going to get waterworks, and it is going to hurt her. And that was another thing that kept me from leaving, is that, because I remember one time we were sitting in my car and she started crying. She's like, why don't you love me? And I was like, I felt awful. Because there was no reason not to, but I just didn't feel what I didn't feel. So I couldn't make myself feel that way. And so I stayed with her thinking, well, I'll be a pleaser. I'll stay with her because I don't want to break her heart. And then, of course, we get married, and then I broke her heart anyways. So it's just because I was young and I was weak and I was inexperienced. But deep down, I always knew. I'm very unsure of what to do, and I don't want to hurt her, but I also don't want I also want a girl who knocks my socks off, like you explain in your book. Yeah, if I had stayed with her, I would have never been the father I could have been. I would have never become the man I could have been. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, that's for sure. And my life would have been completely different. And all those great love stories that I wrote about in the book and that I've had since, it's like I would have never had those life experiences. And I wouldn't have had those life experiences that gave me wisdom that I can share with you guys so you can learn from it so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. He says, so any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, sir, for all you do. Well, like I said, you already know what you're feeling. It was an old Bonnie Raitt song from I think it was late 80s, early 90s. You can't make, I can't make you love me. I can't make your heart feel something it doesn't feel. That's life. Sometimes those things are going to happen. If you love somebody, if you really truly care for them, if she really is great to you, and deep down you don't see her as the mother of your children, you don't want to be with her, again, really truly loving somebody and caring for them, you want them to be happy, even if that means they're not with you. Because if you stay with somebody you're not that into, you're just not going to make the effort that you need to keep the passion in the relationship alive and sustain it. So I've seen lots of couples that stay together and do what you did. And it usually ends up with both of them being obese and fucking their kids up, and their kids get obese, and they're miserable. Because it's like once you settle in any area of your life, especially a main area like this, it affects everything. Your career, your ability to be a successful entrepreneur, taking care of your body. Think about it. If somebody lights you up on the inside, you're going to be more inclined to take better care of yourself and eat right and exercise. But if they don't light you up on the inside, and the longer you're together, it's like, what's the point? Why care? They don't light you up on the inside. You feel you don't have, because when you really truly love somebody and they love you and you want to be with them, you'll take better care of yourself. You'll want to become a more successful man because of the abundance that it brings into both of your lives. But if she's not lighting you up on the inside, you're settling for being a mediocre man. And we're all about peak performance. The title of the book is Winning the Heart of the Woman of Your Dreams. And so it's not how to settle for somebody that's mediocre and that doesn't light you up on the inside. So it's, like I said, it's just better to rip the Band-Aid off, do what you need to do, get past it, because in the end you'll feel better. And especially someday when you hear that she's with somebody that really lights her up on the inside and who feels the same way, you're like, that's very satisfying. That's what true mature love is all about. Loving somebody to the point where you want them to be happy, even if it's not with you. So if you got a question or challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the coaching tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book a coaching session with yours truly. If you haven't already signed up for our exclusive premium members only content, in the video description of this video, there are links to join on YouTube, or you can join on Spotify, or our website, understandingrelationships.com. Just click the plans tab. When you get there, you can sign up for a 7-day free trial and check out what content you get for your money. And if you choose an annual plan, you can get a 25% discount at the end of the 7-day free trial. So go there now, understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab or the link that's in the video description, and sign up for a free trial on our website today. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.